Welcome to the Crescendo podcast, a show where we highlight the upcoming and current artists from the UK and beyond. Today's guest is someone who creates music that feels really deep, incredibly relatable. An artist who blends storytelling, atmosphere, and authenticity in her work. Today, I'm joined by Anna Karila, singer-songwriter, guitarist based in the Northeast, known for her folk, Americana tinge sounds. And she has released her latest single, which is Sweet, which is absolutely brilliant. You should listen to it. And it features a resonant finger-picking guitar line of ambient synths and very contemplative vocal. And with her single, she was recently played on BBC Introducing Northeast on radio, basically, and has been performing at multiple events, including supporting our previous guests, Hels Patterson, Smith and Liddle, and this Saturday with Robin Erico. So in our conversation today, we'll explore her journey into her music, her creative process, and the meaning behind her songs and what the future holds. This is Crescendo Podcast, episode 7. Karila, finally, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've been looking at your music, and yeah, it's been amazing. But yeah, you've also been following this podcast, which is
Yes,
I'm grateful.
Yes, it's really
so how do you feel about it? Like
the podcast.
Yeah, mine. You've been following.
It's a really good idea. I think we should have more stuff like this, particularly for the Northeast, because there is so many pockets of music and culture that people, because we don't have near enough like spotlight on it. I think it's a really good thing to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's good. That's why I started in the first place, and I hope people have been thankful, and like people who, like Robin Erico, like kept hugging me, like, oh, yeah, this helped me, and like show my true self in a sense.
Yeah, you ask really, really good questions as well, which I don't think you get,
Yeah, well, we just talk about like, have you ever done like a longer-ish form interview, or is it just like 20 minutes and done?
No, I've done stuff for like papers, but never videos really. So
yeah,
it's gonna be
which is good. So welcome to the show. This is all about you, and it's gonna be good. All right. To begin, I'd like to set a scene for our listeners discovering you for the first time. So how would you introduce yourself, both as an artist and as a person in general?
I think as an artist, really good question. I think I dabble in kind of a few genres. I think the ones that I kind of push and pull with a bit is definitely the folk and singer-songwriter with little bits of country elements. And then there's probably also some like pop and rock elements. But the thing that I'm drawn to the most is like folk, singer-songwriter. And I really love writing lyrics and making them sound nice. And as a person, I would say I take myself much less seriously than in my music.
Really? How so?
I feel like when you're making music, there's something just so... It shows the most serious... I think there are little jokes that I have with myself in my song, but you wouldn't really get that. And I think in music, you have to take yourself a little bit more seriously and show... You can't really show the self-deprecating side in your music, because then you're not very good at promoting it if you're going to deprecate it the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And like, just trying to blend in, like, are you the same person when you're performing, that kind of thing?
So. Yeah. I definitely don't think there's like a persona put on anything when I'm performing. But I think that's a good thing. I think you should be able to show yourself in different ways, in different contexts.
Yeah. If you had to describe your music in a way that goes beyond genre, like, how would you explain it? Like, for example, atmosphere, like, what would you describe your music as if it's not a genre?
I think I would describe it as like, something I try and do a lot is, in my lyrics, I try and paint kind of pictures as well as narratives, because I think when you listen to a song, especially the first few times, for me, I'm not always thinking about what the lyrics mean. It's more about the images they're conjuring and kind of a vibe. And then there's obviously deeper layers. If you love a song and you listen to it more, you get into the deeper layers and more of the narrative. Yep. And I think that's something I try and balance. So I like it to be quite whimsical. I like little threads of irony in my music as well. and acoustic mostly.
which is good because I like that too. So
Yeah.
that's very good. um, yeah, like yeah, it's so good. Like because when you listen to your music or when you listen to you playing, it's just like it's so comes so naturally, and you're so good at
Thank you.
finger picking, which is
Thank you.
crazy. Because I tried to learn the guitar once, but no, not for
Really?
me.
I feel like guitar's just
Yeah,
one of the hardest instruments to start out on.
yeah,
And once you've got it, like, fine, but starting out it is not a rewarding process because it's, like, so tough on your fingers.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
actually also
exactly.
I'm left-handed and I play guitar right-handed, and I often wonder how much of a better player I'd be if I played left-handed.
I don't know. Yeah, what does that give like an edge for you? Like you could, I don't know, like not
I
multitask,
don't
but
know. I think maybe a thing is, because my right hand's weaker, I kind of have a bit of a
yeah,
softer strum, which I think sounds quite nice for the music I do. Because sometimes I
yeah.
get people play and it really fits their music, but a lot of people play with a much harsher strum, and I do wonder if
Mm,
that's my right hand can cramp it. Maybe that's an edge I have.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, that's how you are. That's how you're unique and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've always think like when early stages when you're starting, it's so important that you find like an identity.
Yeah,
Like when you first started, like what was it always about? The things that you listened to when you were younger, or was it just childhood memories, or and any kind of thing?
I think I definitely didn't feel like much of a songwriter until a couple of years ago because I felt like I didn't have an identity, and I thought like, I didn't have an identity in my songwriting at least, and I thought there's not really anything new I can offer, and I was, like,
Right.
giving it a go, and then the song I've released, Sweet, I think that's
Hmm.
kind of I wrote that and I was like, "Yeah, I think I've written something that is very original and unique to me, and I haven't really heard anything like it before," which is kind of what I wanted. It feels like
Yeah.
a little bit of me put in a
Mm.
song, and it's probably I don't think about influences, but it's definitely influenced by whatever I was listening to when I was younger and throughout the years.
Yeah. Were there any like specific artists that you like to like share, like made the most impact in your music and like your direction, music direction?
A big one because I remember when I was about, like, 11 or 12, I hadn't been, like, properly into music really, and then
Mm.
I listened to Lana Del Rey, and that was, like, the first artist I was like, "Yeah, I really like music, I really like listening to music, I'm gonna listen to this whole album," and I, like, bought it on iTunes and listened to it so much, and she definitely influenced me in her, like, songwriting. That song was definitely influenced by, like, a lot of her unreleased work, I think.
Yeah, it was just good. Like, but you cover songs. Like, what's your favorite song to cover?
Don't know, there's so many. There's so many, and I'm learning new all the time.
Yeah.
I recently learnt one by Laura Marling, and I love Laura Marling. She's another huge
Mm.
influence, I think, probably. My favourite songs, I like doing this Nick Drake on called Cello Song because I like kind of doing something a bit cooler on guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, there's this one, it's like an old folk song, but Nirvana covered it in kind of the 90s called "Where Did You Sleep Last Night?" and I really love covering that.
Mm.
I think at the end of, like,
Yeah.
a very mellow set, and then you just start screaming at the crowd.
Yeah. Like yeah, I mean, you play, which is for people's enjoyment, but also for yourself. Like, it's
Yeah.
important. It's
I think it
how
definitely
is
needs
that
to find a
important?
balance because you don't want to sit and do a gig and have it be one big ego trip for
Yeah,
you and just, like, show off to
exactly.
everyone. You have to make it enjoyable, but also, like, very representative of you.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and I agree with you all the
Mhm.
way. But
Yeah.
like, but at some point, you must have wondered, like, oh, this is going to be something that I'm going to do, like, kind of permanently while doing studies or whatever. When you decide to like commit to like doing performances, doing recordings.
Probably maybe kind of last year, but it's scary to put all your eggs in one basket and say, "This
Yeah,
is what I'm committing to and this is what I wanna do," because how terrible if that didn't work out and you put all your
yeah,
hopes and dreams into this one thing. But I'd say, especially in the past few months, I've been trying to be, like, so much more intentional and working a lot harder at my craft. But, I
mm,
mean, I've been doing gigs for a long time, and it was only in the past couple of years that I did, like, original kind of gigs. I've been doing a lot of covers and stuff
mm,
around the Northeast.
yeah. Yeah, and has it helped you like in your like confidence in playing to people, or have you always been confident?
No, it
No.
definitely I don't think I think 'cause I loved music so much, and so my parents were like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, let's just bang her in these music groups," and, you meet a lot of like-minded people. I think I would find it very difficult to start, and I don't think I would be confident enough to, and it's
Mm.
definitely helped me in my confidence just with having to speak to people and throwing myself into uncomfortable situations and just being able to be embarrassed. Because I think if you wanna, like, kinda achieve anything, you probably have to go through embarrassment and horribleness for a bit
Yeah.
first, you know?
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's been
I
really
agree.
important for me.
Mm. So like they feel like this feels so exciting, or it's like, I'm just gonna try it out for a few years, or is it just both
I think
feelings?
right now it's just, right now I've kind of got the mindset of I'm gonna kind of put 100% in and try really hard, for pure love
Mm.
of the game. Like, it doesn't it's if
Yeah.
it's something I love doing, it doesn't have to get me anywhere really. And I think I'll always do it for the rest of my life, whether it's like 100% into it or, you know, just a little hobby.
Yeah.
It's so important to me that yeah.
That's that's so good. I'm just trying to remember what you played as well, like Fleetwood Mac. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love that. I love the two songs. Unfortunately, it's from the same album, isn't it?
Yeah, I love those songs.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's one of my
basically, I
favourite.
enjoyed it. So I was like, yes, just play
Yeah,
this
it
card.
was one of the first records I ever bought, that album.
Yeah.
Kind of
No,
it.
really.
Yeah.
Do you buy records like vinyl and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I do, yeah. And I remember seeing it in a record shop and just being like, "Oh my god, I've hit gold." And then I recently, started driving, and
Mm.
I kind of went through my dad and stepmom's CD collection, and they had it on CD, so I get to listen to it in my car now.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
It was
Which
like,
is good. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I grew up in the time where there was like cassettes in cars, and like,
"Oh,
yeah,
nice."
cassettes in cars are pretty old. Yeah, I'm pretty unk, as you people would say, call me now, but very unk. All right, let's just get back to like things. Do you feel like your music reflects the way you are every day, or is it just like something imaginary, or do you want to show something like different at some point?
I definitely think my music, because I always write my songs based on whatever I'm feeling or whatever I'm thinking about, so it definitely represents me in that way, but it kind of probably shows the things that you wouldn't kind of go to a normal person and start complaining about, because that would be not very sociable.
Yeah,
So it's nice to be able to show yourself in that way, but I definitely don't think it's like a I have that kind of, persona or anything. I definitely do think it reflects me and who I am.
yeah. Do you surprise yourself creatively when you're creating songwriting?
I think so, especially when you just write a song in it. Sometimes I start
Mm,
writing a song about one thing and then it turns like I can turn really angry or something. I'm like, I didn't really realise
really?
I was that annoyed about that, but you know. And it kind
Yeah,
of I
yeah.
don't it's kind of like journaling. Like there's so many songs that I just write and then I never play to anyone just because it really helps you make sense of your feelings, because I don't think I'm that articulate with words. But then
Mm,
when you're able to put a melody behind it and kind of your words don't have to make sense, they just have to I'm just trying to, like, capture this feeling that I have in that moment, and that's, like, so much easier for me to express myself rather than, like, writing it down.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with that. Like
Yeah.
that shows like how versatile you are as a songwriter, and that's what you need basically. Songwriting is often when artists are more honest about whatever they're writing about. Like when you begin writing a song, like that's that first moment of, oh, got a song. What does it look like?
I think sometimes I think very rarely for me it comes from, like, "Oh, I've got this idea and I'm gonna get it down." It's more like I'm gonna sit down and write a song, and I kind of find the right first chord for whatever I'm feeling or thinking about, whatever I wanna make,
Yeah,
and then I kind of, like, just throw loads of words into the mix that I think have a
yeah.
vibe, and then I kind of try and build a narrative out of those words that fit what I'm trying to say. And it takes a lot
Yeah.
of trial and error, and a lot of rubbish comes out as well. And I write a
Uh,
lot of
what
as
kind of rubbish?
I think are good.
What kind of rubbish?
Like, just things that just don't quite work or don't quite sound good. I think a lot of things as well that just don't really fit me and, like, my style, but I think you can sometimes wear other hats and kind of go, "Oh, this
Mm.
song's gonna be kind of like cosplaying as this other artist," and it's like, you might never play it live, but it's kind of nice to have fun and expand out of your comfort zone because then you get little ideas from stuff that never quite work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, like voice notes and that kind of thing. Like, oh, it just pop in my
Yeah.
head. Like, just let's just
Yeah,
jot it
definitely do
down. Or
that. Sometimes in my notes app, I'll be like,
yeah, yeah. But how do you come up with the music? Because it's about influences, I know. But how do you come out with like the melody and like, oh, we're gonna add this kind of finger style and I'm gonna add this kind of effect to it.
I think it's all quite, like, intuitive, and sometimes, like, whenever I'm playing, I just kind of keep trying something until something kind of clicks and I'm like, "Yeah, that's right." That's, like, I
Right.
just know that
Yeah.
that's, like, the right thing that I'm trying to express. And it's not, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's not very, I can't, it's not very logical, it just kind of, like, makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
it makes sense to me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
it does. Like you perform a lot of your songs wherever you play it. But yeah, like I heard a few of them and they're so beautiful and like
Thank
I
you.
just
Thank
yeah,
you.
and you should record it soon. But you
Thank
know,
you.
time, but anything. Yeah, like
Yeah.
do you ever struggle with overthinking when you're writing?
Yeah, definitely. I'm, like, a bit weird in the sense that I just create all these rules for myself that don't exist,
Mm, mm,
and I kind of have to break them down, like, all these rules of, "Oh, I can't write a song in this structure because of X, Y,
mm.
Z reason that just doesn't make any sense," and I think that's when I can really overthink things, and I think one time I wrote a really good song, and I wrote it by doing this, so now every other song I write, it's not gonna be good unless I do this one thing,
Oh
which
yeah,
isn't possible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I forgot what to say now. But yeah, it should come naturally, and that's
Yeah.
the thing about
I think,
writing
yeah,
music.
you should feel like you can write rubbish as well, like, sometimes I
Yeah.
go into a song and I start writing something, I'm like, "It doesn't matter if this is good or bad, I don't have to play this to anyone, this is just a pure expression of
Hmm.
self right now, and it's okay to just be a bit rubbish sometimes and just be
Yeah.
creative and have fun." Because otherwise I think you'd lose some of the magicalness of being creative if you put too much
Yeah.
pressure on it.
Going back to your childhood, your family love listening to music and that kind of thing. Like, how was the family
Yeah.
dynamic and your upbringing on music?
Yeah, it was just listening to music all the time, basically. My dad
Mm,
was in a few bands as well,
right.
and we always had, like, CDs on and collections of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
One time when I was younger, I went to the dentist and I was, like, I don't know, like, 5 or 6, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, do you want a sticker? 'Cause you've been so good during this appointment." And I was like, "Yeah, do you have any Bob Dylan
Yeah.
stickers?" And he was like, "Well, we don't have Bob Dylan
Bob
stickers."
Dylan stickers. Oh, that's crazy. Like,
But
did you
it was,
listen to a
yeah.
Bob Dylan then?
Well, yeah, I love Bob Dylan. He's
Right.
probably in my record collection, I reckon he's the one I have the most records of.
Right.
He's a
Yeah.
firm favourite of mine.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah,
But you so yeah. So you're grateful for that, like the way you were brought up and
oh yeah, definitely. And I was brought up just like, I've always been brought up in a super encouraging way of my music, even when I was, like, diabolical and it
mm,
felt like adding really good, and no, I wasn't. But I think that's really nice. I was, like, just always been so supportive and everyone's always trying to help me and my family.
yeah.
It's, like, so blessed to have.
Hmm. Which is good. And like that's very important. Like you have some people who are just
Mm,
encouraging you and doing
yeah.
stuff and like what's one surprising thing that's happened like when we were younger
When I was younger, like,
musically.
ooh, let me think, a
Yeah.
surprising thing that's happened when I was younger. I've got a few ideas. One, yeah, there's been a few little things. I used to, like, when I was in, like, lockdown and I was, like,
Yeah.
I think I was, like, 13 in lockdown, I wasn't really that I did like playing guitar and I liked music and I liked singing, but I just wasn't that good at it, and when you're not good at something, you don't wanna do it. So that's kind of when I properly picked it up and I started playing bass, and I think I was pretty good for a
Yeah.
while at this. I'm not very good now. I was okay, but yeah, so that was I guess that was the first
Yeah.
thing, 'cause I never really saw myself doing that, and I didn't think anyone else
Hmm.
doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, that's a good fact, right? I was just
yeah,
gonna
fun
ask
fact.
about fast
Yeah,
fun fact. Like
that's a
I
true
played the
fun
bass
fact.
first. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
actually did, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like oh, speaking of bass, like in the future, if you want to create your music, or like, would you like more people to play together with you, or would you like to stay the same way as it is?
I definitely would like to, like, experiment with a band and stuff, but it can be hard because, um, a lot of people have their own creative ideas, and
Right.
I am a little bit I'm one of those people, I wouldn't say I'm a control freak. I can kind of sit back at the very end when I realise that I haven't given any input into this situation, so no wonder I don't like it and I don't like what we've created,
Yeah.
'cause I was too scared to say anything this whole time.
Yeah.
So I think I might struggle in that respect and, like, finding people who are willing to either do exactly what I say or collaborate with me and have more ideas.
Yeah, I promise you, there will be somebody out there who are just like, oh, we have the same brain and we're
Yeah,
like
I hope
together and
so.
like,
It's really
yeah,
nice. I definitely really like that because I love, like, when I was supporting Hells and you were there, I just
yeah,
thought the extra guitar was just it added
mm,
so even though it was just one extra person, I just thought it added so much, and that really inspired me because she was
yeah,
obviously amazing.
yeah. She's amazing, but you know, the like just the color and everything. Like your
Yeah,
songs have color, and no doubt about that. But you
yeah,
know, like you
definitely.
always need something a bit extra
Yeah, I get
sometimes.
what you mean. I think yeah, I definitely feel like just those little extra textures to add so much. I'd love to do that, but yeah.
Amazing, yeah. Yeah, and it's just the two of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, maybe, but yeah, your kind of music is mostly guitars, but I play keyboard. And I'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen to more songs, and then there'll be a way for you to find something. I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. Right, I already asked about songwriting. Can ask about lyrics now.
Ooh.
Like when you're writing real lyrics, do you really care about the lyrics? Like, do you really care about how it sounds? And
I think so, yeah, I definitely care about the lyrics, probably but, like, as I said, like, I've noticed when I'm listening to songs for the first couple
mm,
of times,
mm,
it's not normally the lyrics that sway me first. They sway me in the sense that they can, like, in the short term, kind of conjure these images and conjure a vibe, but I'm not kind of thinking, "Wow,"
mm,
and when you put that together, that must mean that, and that must be what they're trying to say, and you just kind of enjoying
yeah,
the melody. So I kind of the lyrics are probably more for me or anyone that listens to the song more than a few
yeah,
times.
yeah,
But that's probably, like, the thing that, is most important to me in my songs, but I can imagine not for everyone else. It's probably quite a self-indulgent thing, really.
yeah. Like every guest I've spoken to, whether it's Robin or Hells or even
Yeah,
Smith and Little, like they said the same thing. Like we just write for ourselves
yeah,
and write for people around us.
yeah.
That's basically how you write. I do agree with that.
I definitely think that's how it should be. I think it should be creating first and then being good second. Do you know
Later
what I mean?
on, yeah,
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 I just think
yeah.
I think everyone should be more creative even if they're crap.
Well, it's all about substance, as we always say.
It's
So,
just like
uh,
self-expression is so important, and
yeah,
we should be less bothered about, like, am I gonna succeed
mm,
if I do this? And which is
hmm,
like, I'm definitely guilty of that, but I just think it's so important and we don't kind of value it enough.
yeah. I mean, do you feel like when you're writing something, do you feel that one song could be way too personal to release, way too like too much?
Yeah, I think definitely there's definitely songs that I just won't play because it's just especially when because sometimes you can kind of shroud your lyrics in a bit of, like, mysticism and not have it be clear exactly what it's about, and that
Yeah,
makes it a lot easier, but sometimes I write songs and I'm just like, I feel like I'm kind of exposing myself a bit here.
yeah, but yeah. Do you think you would ever release something that you're just so scared to release, but Like, what the heck? I'm just gonna release it. Like, would you ever do that?
Well, I think it kind of gets easier over time because I think when I wrote Sweet, I wrote it about a year ago, and
Mm,
I didn't really think I was going to play it because it was so personal. But I think as
mm.
time goes on and you kind of become a little bit less emotionally involved with whatever you've written about, it gets a bit easier to share it.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
That's a good explanation. Good. Yeah, that's great. There's a cat outside. Hello, cat.
Hello,
It's
cat.
black and white. Hello,
Yeah,
cat.
hi, cat.
Black and white cat. Sorry. You see, that's the problem when I open my window and it's like, oh, there's a cat. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sometimes you could write something about that. Like, I saw a cat
I
and
started
I'm just going to
with
write
it.
a song about a
Yeah,
cat.
exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy. I'd like to take a second. I like to take a look at one of your songs now.
Okay.
You know what song we're talking about.
Yeah, because I
It's
know
sweet
what.
because
Yeah.
everybody else can hear it and like that people will please listen to it. It's great. Please come tomorrow. It's great.
Yeah.
You can listen to more of our songs. Yeah. You were talking about the story behind it. Like, could you share a bit more, like how did you wrote it, but also like from the original idea and then when you finished it, like how did it sound? Was there any difference?
So I wrote it, yeah, I wrote it about a year ago, and I was just kind of like, I wasn't really planning on writing anything good, to be honest. I was just kind of tinkering about. And I guess like I wrote it from a time when I'd gone through a lot of like major changes in my life. And
Mm,
sometimes I feel like when you go through something difficult, you kind of can harden yourself to adapt, which is a really good thing and helps you survive. But I just felt like I'd lost touch of myself a little bit, and that's what I wrote it about at the time.
yeah. How
'Cause
about like, yeah, you say, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say 'cause, I think I've just always been a very, like, sensitive person,
Mm.
and just a bit of a baby, a bit pathetic, and
Baby. Yeah.
I just felt like I'd lost touch of that, even though I bet everyone
Mm.
else in my life would have said she still never suffers in silence.
No, that's not true. All of us suffer in different ways. That's a problem for another time to talk about. But yeah. Like, do you appreciate it when people say I relate to that, or
Yeah,
I love to hear that again because like I'm going through that right now or something like that.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%, 'cause I think the songs I love the most are the ones that I relate to, especially when it captures, like, a really specific feeling.
Mm.
So, like, I can't really imagine any better compliment.
Yeah, she's good. Like, what kind of compliments have you gotten from like people based on how they listen to your songs and that kind of thing? Have they said things like,
I think
"Oh, you
it's
should do this"?
what have they said I should do? A lot of people kind of going, "Do you wanna play with, a full band?" And I'm like, "Yeah, where are they? 'Cause I can't find them." That's what a lot of people say. And kind of I don't know if that's advice, I think it's more of like a gentle question slash
Mm,
suggestion. But a lot of I think it really depends on the person because people say a lot of different things, and some people are bothered about the lyrics, and some people are just like, "Wow, that's a really beautiful song," and it's so kind of interesting because I think as well, because I've kind of know, because I think it's reached people of, like, quite a lot of different age groups and, men
mm.
and women. So everyone seems to have a really different thing to say, which is really nice.
Yeah, good. Which helps a lot in like gaining confidence and like, oh, I can do this now. I can just sing something much better than before. That kind of thing. Yeah.
It's like there's no it's because sometimes it's like young girls saying, "Wow, I love this song, and I get it," and, like, that's amazing, and it's also probably equally amazing as when a middle-aged man who has loads of experience in the music industry goes, "Wow, that's a really beautiful song," and it's, like,
Yeah.
completely different vibes, but it's, like, just equally nice to hear.
Yeah. I agree. Like, I'm older, and when I listen to your songs, it's like I went through that like during COVID, or I went
Yeah,
like that during like when I was younger. You know, yeah,
yeah,
I'm not gonna share more, but yeah, I relate to your songs a lot, and that's why I listen to you and all your influences, that kind of thing. Yeah, no problem. No problem. What do you hope listeners would take away from Sweet when they listen to it?
I think just like, I think kind of own how you feel, and
Yeah.
it's okay to, I don't know, like, it's okay to kind of accept when you've done something wrong, and it's okay to accept when you're not perfect, even if it's really hard to, and I think we should do that more. And
Yeah.
I don't know. And just kind of relate to it. I think I'm probably not in a position to give advice to anyone. But if it's a relatable song, I think that's really nice. And if you like listening to it, then that's good.
Yeah.
But I think I wrote a lot of the song definitely with the opposite of the intention of advice. I don't know how much it comes across, but a lot of it was kind of like self-mocking and
Mm.
like kind of, I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think a lot of it was trying to kind of reflect myself in a way that
Yeah.
doesn't show positively and kind of shows, because sometimes we lie to ourselves about things.
Mm.
I think a lot of the song was about the ways that we can hide parts of ourselves from ourselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's so important to be authentic and that kind of thing. But
Definitely, yeah.
sometimes it's just so difficult.
It definitely is, especially
Yeah.
when you're in situations under pressure and there's certain
Mhm.
things to do and deadlines you need to meet and ways you need to be in the world to succeed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk about recording now. Like, how's your time recording? How do you do your recording
I did
stuff?
So my boyfriend has a little studio in his loft, so I just
Okay.
my boyfriend's loft and recorded it basically. And I had
Sure.
a really sore throat at the time, but I'd been putting it
Mm.
off for so long because it's so scary to release music because you're essentially like declaring to the world, I think this is a good song and I think you don't listen to it, which just feels
Yeah.
arrogant.
Well, not really.
It isn't arrogant, but like I was overthinking it. I obviously don't think that
Yeah.
other artists do it, but I was massively overthinking it, and I was like, oh, I've got a sore throat and I'm in pain, but I just need to get this done. And I played it live for so long that I didn't. Most of the song is acoustic because I didn't want to stray too far from the version that I'd known so well because I'd played it so many times by that point.
And like your boyfriend, was he very supportive and like, oh, I'm gonna give you ideas based on what you play. Like, I'm gonna give you ideas for what to do.
We have a lot of like crossovers in music that we like. I mean,
Mm.
he produces, like, really scary metal music most of the times, which is quite far away from what I'm doing, but, like, we both quite like folk music and stuff with a bit of whimsy.
Yeah.
So he was definitely supportive in, like, listening to my ideas and kind of,
Right.
and
Yeah.
also when I said it was easy because I know him so well, and when I said, "I don't like that, I want you to get rid of
Mm.
it," it's fine. But maybe with someone else, I'd have been more scared to go, "That sounds rubbish."
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Like, and I'm sure you're so thankful to him for
Oh,
like helping you
yeah,
do stuff.
definitely, and I'm recording my next song with him as well, and he plays banjo, so it's gonna. I'm hoping.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I think it will sound.
That would sound so cool.
I think so. Yeah, but for any whimsical metal lovers, he's called Truth God. Shout out.
Right. I mean, metals is great. Like, I was in one, I went to one gig in the student union, which I live nearby.
Yeah.
The metal guy, that thing was called the Larches.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I think I might have seen them. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're hot.
they are mad.
Are they?
I was wearing earmuffs, literally
Yeah.
put in my ears because it was ring. But the first song was done, my ears were ringing. I was like, I have enough now. Yeah,
I think I was a
yeah.
bit scared to go to a metal gig.
Uh-huh.
I do listen to like a bit of metal, like Black Sabbath and stuff, but
Yeah,
not like
not crazy stuff.
stuff. But I do. I went through a
Mm.
era when I was like 14 or 15 where I was really into like the grunge sort of stuff, and like I love Hole,
Yeah,
Courtney Love.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Basically, yeah. Is it important for people to have so many different kind of genres in their brain to just I want to put some kind of effect from that to my songs, or does it give you aspirations? Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, I think so. I think the more music you listen to, the more ideas you can get, and I think you should listen to music from all different genres. I also think we should be listening to smaller artists more. I think since
Yeah.
doing music and trying to, like, be a smaller artist, it's encouraged me more to, like, be going to live gigs in the area and, like, be in the change I
Yeah.
want to see, and seeing things that I just wouldn't really normally reach out for.
Hmm.
I think it's a really important thing to do.
Yeah. I agree. And you should support more smaller artists and like
Definitely.
upcoming people who got EPs out and
Yeah,
like, or Robin and
yeah,
you, like come to any show that you're a part
yeah.
of and
Yeah,
just,
definitely.
just do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not so expensive as well. Well, depends, but it's not as expensive as you think it is.
It's always so much cheaper than, like, I went to see
Mm.
Billie Allen recently, and it was amazing, and obviously she's
Yeah,
an
sure.
artist, but it was a very different experience to going to a local gig because you're not really, like, speaking to anyone around you, you're not really interacting with anyone around you, you don't get to speak to the artist afterwards. I think when you go to local, it's just this really strong sense of community, which in a really big, scary world, I just find it so comforting to go, we've all come to this gig to like share this art and creativity of this person that we admire. I think that's like, I just think
Yeah.
that's really wholesome.
Yeah. I agree. I agree so much. Like you should support the artists and like,
Yeah.
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 I was there when they were, just starting out and you're proud. Now, not only about that, but like you can actually see the changes that
Yeah.
happens in the voice or in the way you write the
Yeah.
song, or is it very
Yeah.
mainstream or yeah, fair enough. Like, do you enjoy recording? Like, what's challenging when you're recording?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't, and I find it really stressful. I really like
Mm,
recording once the recording bit's done, and you just kind of get to. It's scary because when you're playing live, if you do something slightly wrong, it's kind of fine and no one's listening to
it's
it.
all right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you get over that, but in a recording, it's like you have to play it 3 times to get it right, and I'm stressed and I'm frustrated, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
especially with my poor boyfriend producing it, I turn really evil and I get really frustrated.
Like, don't do this. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna record it
You're
for the
doing it
fifth,
wrong.
seventh, tenth time. Like, enough.
Yeah.
Like,
I really like the bit after you've actually recorded those whole
yeah,
vocals and you can kind of experiment with maybe what other instruments you wanna add and what sounds good and, that bit, which is
yeah,
nice.
good.
Yeah.
In future releases of your songs, do you prefer like what you're doing now, or would you prefer something more like extra layers of voicing or like
I definitely
guitars and
think I'm gonna go a bit bigger. I'm definitely not going, like, rock or anything, but I'm gonna go a bit bigger
sure,
this time, I think, with a few more layers. I was a bit with Sweet, I just didn't wanna stray too much from what I'd already
right?
did, but with this
Yeah,
one, I really wanna add some, like, pretty harmonies and, the banjo and maybe some other guitar layers,
yeah,
which I'm pretty
yeah.
excited for.
Uh, right. Do you plan to release an EP in like a few months or so, like, or when you get enough songs?
Maybe. I've been thinking about it, especially because I'm planning on going to uni this year, and it would kind of be nice to dump everything out in the open,
Of course,
and just kind of have my
do
last
it.
yeah, just kind of get it all out there, which would be nice. Thinking about it, I'm not too sure yet, but I've definitely got at least 2 or 3 songs I'd be quite happy to put out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're speaking about uni, like you're going to uni, like you're gonna meet people who play music. You're gonna meet people who like create for the sake of creating, and like
Yeah.
they might not as experienced as you, but you could really find people who could work with you and do
Yeah, I think
stuff
it
with
would
you.
be really cool. I'm really excited for that and, to, like because obviously I live in a little village right now. Be nice to go to kind of a city and try and meet more people that, are like-minded, which would be nice.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which uni are you planning to go to, if not my asking?
No, it's fine. It's the University of London, but their institute in Paris.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you were talking to me about when I was there with you in Harold Patterson's gig. We were talking about, we were just rambling about like, oh, I want to learn, not learn French. You speak a bit of French, but
A little bit.
yeah, but you really would like to like, why French in the first place?
I think it's on when I did my A-levels, that's one that I had the highest predicted grades. I just thought, I'll just do that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And you could write songs in French,
Yeah,
right? Be
and
like a,
I do find it, like, interesting, the subjects, because there was a point where I was thinking of I never really thought I'd study music, but there was a point where I thought about
sure.
studying English, but I think when you do French as well, it encompasses, like, lots of other subjects, like, it encompasses, literature and history and politics, which
Mm,
all things I find interesting, but you're just doing it in another language.
yeah. Yeah. Like speaking of French, like I went to a Amelia Coburn's gig last year, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
And she has that one song that she sings in French, which is great. I think she learns a bit from that. You should listen. But
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, she learned French as well, like quite seriously. She could speak a bit. And Robin was just like rambling about, oh, she sings French. I'm so like
Yeah, I love I
not humiliated, but just like, no, I
yeah.
can't do that. Shoot, shoot me in the head. I could do it now. Uh, yeah. What excites you about what's to come for your recording and everything else?
I think there definitely I wanna come a point where I'm, like, putting like, releasing physical copies of my music, whether that's a CD
Sure,
or a vinyl, that really
I
excites
know.
me. I find that great.
Yeah,
And what else excites me? I'm just trying to put a lot more work into it than I previously have.
yeah,
I'm trying to be, like,
mm-hmm.
intentional about the things that I want. So, I'm just kind of excited about
Yeah,
everything. Every single time I have a gig, I'm super excited. I find just everything
yeah,
exciting.
yeah. It's good,
Yeah.
and like new experiences and like performing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
We talk a lot about live performing already. Like, how are you feeling for like tomorrow? Like, yeah, what's your
Yeah.
gut feeling right
How's
now?
it feeling? Sometimes you think it's gonna go one way and you have a certain ideas in
Mm,
your mind, and it just
mm-hmm.
never if you think about, like, "Oh, this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen,"
Yeah,
I find that I'm
yeah,
always left very stressed because it never went how I expected it to. But I'm really looking
yeah.
forward to it in the sense of it's probably a gig I would have gone to anyway because Robin's talented and amazing, and I live 20 minutes away from it. So it's nice to get to go there for free. And I'm just super excited. I'd like obviously love the playing, and I love doing that.
Yeah.
I also love speaking to people afterwards and
Mhm.
watching the sets of other people.
Yeah.
I'm just practicing my set list right now, trying to be more prepared because last time when you saw me, I hadn't written a set list and I was just kind of
Just, "Oh, I'm gonna play this next.
yeah,
Yeah, all right.
just kind
I
of
think I
decided
feel
on the
this
spot.
way now. Come on."
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I've
mean,
actually written a set though,
yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah, you should.
I should get
You
on
should,
that.
and you should now from now on, or like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I'm gonna keep this on now," or
yeah,
like, "I'm gonna change that later on," or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When how have auditions been? You go to different places, they have different sizes of audiences, different kind of places, gig sizes, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about what's like your favorite place? Like, what do you feel about these things?
I'm trying to think. My favourite places, I do really like I think selfishly, I like really quiet, intimate gigs. Some of my favourites to play. It's less nerve-wracking, and it feels like when especially, Angel's Cut and,
Yeah.
there's another one I've played that is a bit more quiet and intimate. I can't remember, but there's kind of gigs where you're not separated by a stage. There's
Mm.
something I like about them because you kind of in the room with everyone else, and you get to have this atmosphere you can fully pick up on, and there's no lights
Hmm.
to from seeing people, which is nice. But I think as well, I've played more gigs like that than bigger ones on a stage with lights,
Sure.
so I'm probably more used to it as well.
Which is a good way to say about it because sometimes you just need a space where I'm playing and nobody's talking and they're just
Yeah,
listening.
it is nice, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just
Yeah,
vibing, like, yeah,
yeah, I think it's something I have to well, hopefully, if I'm play bigger venues, which hopefully happens, it's something I'd get used
yeah. Which
to.
is tomorrow as well.
Yeah,
To
it
be
will.
fair,
Yeah,
it's kind of
tomorrow
big.
it'll be kind of a bigger one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which is good. And it helps you like, so when you step on stage, how do you feel emotionally at that time? Like, or do you ever feel like when you're singing something like, I just want to cry, but I can't? Like, like
think
something
I'm
I just think in
kind of
my head
too scared
suddenly.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm nervous I've done quite a lot of gigs now, and I'm still very nervous every time. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of that, and I'm just kind of thinking, "Just get it done." And then,
Yeah.
normally after
Yeah.
2 songs, I get a lot more comfortable. I'm like, "Oh, this isn't too bad. I'm enjoying this."
No, no. Yeah. Like, we should take an example about like Angel's Cut. Like, that
Yeah.
place is not that big, but it
No.
was filled,
Yeah,
especially for yours, especially.
yeah.
How do you see people react? Like, I know some songs were like, yeah, and the other songs were like, oh, come on, like, like that was so
Yeah.
good. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. How do I see people react? I kind of try I think probably to a fault, like, I'm looking at everyone's faces in the room and I'm trying to figure out,
mm,
are they enjoying this? Do they hate
yeah,
me now? Am I
yeah. I
wasting
think I
it?
was looking down most of the time. Unfortunately, sorry. Very thoughtful. Yeah.
Yeah, but I should probably do that a bit less because it never really
Mm,
makes anything any clearer to me by
doesn't.
staring at
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop staring. Like.
yeah,
Yeah, you should stop staring. Like, just I'm closing my eyes and
yeah,
playing stuff
enjoy it.
and singing my heart out. And
Sometimes I'll try and
yeah,
just think about the song you play and then think about the music rather than what everyone else is thinking, because that's much less important and much less productive.
yeah, yeah. Um, in difficult moments, what keeps you going?
What's really kept me going recently has been I recently got a job and I don't like it very much, and I
All
think that's
right,
been really motivated to pursue music a bit more. So that's
really?
Yeah, and I think as well in moments of self-doubt, I still don't really have a choice and you just kind of have to get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
might be doubting myself in a moment, but I still have a gig to practice for, so I'm just gonna have to do it because I already said I'm gonna do it now. And I
yeah, yeah,
say
yeah,
yes to everything and it's kind of unavoidable that I'm just gonna do it. So I might as well put a bit of effort into it.
yeah, yeah. Which is good. Like you're motivating yourself just to do the thing, but
Yeah.
also because you love it as well.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly. Yeah, but I think
Yeah,
in those moments of self-doubt, it can be really difficult. 'Cause I think as
yeah.
well, there is a part where you're just doing it, and then another big part that I've found you actually have to put work into is the promoting yourself thing. This
Oh,
is good, and
oh.
everyone's listen to it, which is very hard to do.
Mm. Do you feel any? Well, I don't know whether you feel any pressure about like posting on social media, other media in general. Like, I know people do newspaper interviews and that kind of thing. Oh, you're doing this podcast, and like, like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, like,
I definitely do. I've been trying a bit harder with social media, but I do just find it like a little bit of a humiliation ritual. 'Cause
really,
it's like I'm trying to find a bit more fun in it, but I think it's hard when every time you post on social media, like, the success of the post is just so clear because it's in a number, like, you can't kind of go, "Oh, well, it was good in this way and it was bad in the other." It's like, well, it was either higher or
yeah,
lower, and that can be difficult because it's just an immediate competition with either other people or yourself,
mm,
and which can be really hard, and it fuels more self-doubt, which you're already filled over with
yeah,
frustration, I think.
yeah, yeah. You're screaming the same thing I'm thinking now. Like, I
Yeah,
look at my
it's
podcast, I
really
like
hard.
numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's 20 views. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I'm
It's
doing something right.
motivating, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When do you feel you're doing the right thing? Like, is it subconsciously
Like, on social media or just
or
ev
anything in general, music and such?
when I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I think it's always really reassuring when you do a gig and then someone asks you to come back.
Mm,
That's I know that I'm doing a good thing, or when just, like, positive feedback and, kind of validation is always very nice.
which helps. Yes, good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Would okay, just a question before we do other things. Like, have you ever thought of doing something like this when you were younger, or it was just later on in life?
Yeah, definitely. I was always, like, singing and stuff, and I always sometimes I wonder, like, what it is, and I'm like, well, was it because when I was, like, younger, I mean, like, a kid and, like, like, 6 or whatever, and I was like, was it the music or was it, like, a need for attention? Like, what is it that's kind of
Mm,
me along and, like, made me perform live? But it's definitely it's 100% something I always wanted to do, and it's really nice to
sure.
be, like, pursuing it and, going out and doing gigs. There was a point where I was doing a lot of covers gigs, which I still really enjoy, and a lot of kind of, bars with, and the football's on behind me and no one's really listening apart from when they know a song and they'll
Uh,
which is
yeah.
like it can be really, really fun, but it's just not
Hmm.
and I really,
Mm,
really wanted to do more kind of gigs that are about the music, so I'm just feel really
yeah.
lucky to be doing that and having kind of my claws in the ground.
Yeah, claws in the ground. Yeah.
I've never
Talking
heard
about
that one. I
cats
was
again.
okay.
Yeah.
What?
I'm quoting that from now on. Like,
Yeah,
we saw a
claws in the
cat, and now
ground.
you say
Claws
claw
in the
ourselves
ground.
in. Yeah, that's good. That's a good analogy for that. I think that's the analogy that we could get really, like claw way through life and
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
music and
Yeah.
yeah. Good. All right.
It can be really hard if you like because I think with local music scenes, it's a lot about finding the right people that know other people, and I found it a little
Right.
bit tricky to get into at the time because it's a little bit cliquey.
Mm,
So I feel like I'm kind of I know some people in the clique now, which is nice because that yeah, found a
yeah.
little bit tricky at
Yeah.
the start.
Yeah. Good. All right. Before we end, we're gonna have a few short questions. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Some short questions. You can answer as long as you want, but yeah, here we go. Favorite artist of all time, ever? Hard, I know. It's hard, I know. You
I've
can have a few.
oh, can I do 3? Oh,
Yes.
yes. 3, okay. It would have to be Lana Del Rey, Laura Marling, and Fiona Apple.
Dream collaboration with anybody.
Anybody in the whole world.
Yeah.
That might be Laura Mar
Yeah, but what would you do with her?
Oh,
Like,
what would I
what
do
kind of
there?
song would you do? Yeah.
Just anything she told me to do, I'd do it.
You're under my whims now. I came all the way here.
Yeah,
Just give me what you want.
yeah. If she wanted to, like, make her teas or something, I'd probably do it. But that's the same with Fiona Apple or Lana Del Rey. But,
Yeah.
I think maybe 'cause I think I'm just saying that because I've been listening to Laura Marling the most recently,
Yeah, sure.
so she might be up there.
Okay. A song you wish you had written but just haven't gotten the time to do it.
Something I wish I'd written, like, another artist wrote or
Well, for yourself or
for
for anything
yourself.
else.
I'd written. I think I always wanted to write some, like, rockier music, but that's kind of hard for
Really?
acoustic guitar. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
like a lot of rock music, but obviously when it's just me, I can't really fully express that because it would sound a bit
Sure.
daft to just be going, "Yeah."
Yeah. Yeah. Or like flipping like effects, not effects, like the layering with all those tabs and whatever.
It would be very tricky. So that's something I've always wanted
Yeah.
to do. Um,
Yeah, good. Most played song on your playlist now.
should I get it up on my Spotify and see what it says
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
repeat? Have a
See
look.
what it says. And could you you could say why you listen to it so much and to the point of that.
Number 1 right now is White Feather Hawk-tailed Deer Hunter by Lana Del Rey. Banger.
Okay.
Such a good song.
Why is it a banger? Why do you like it so much?
I think it just makes me feel like a sparkly fairy princess, which is always the
Yes.
goal.
Good. That's yeah. 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 Night owl or early riser?
Mm, I think I have a pretty normal mix of both. Obviously don't love getting up in the morning, but I do have a very strong morning routine that I look forward to because I need
Okay.
a big coffee and get
Hmm.
breakfast and sit in bed on my laptop and watch a YouTube video. So it might be
Sure.
nothing, to be honest, because it
Yeah.
takes so much
Being
time.
productive. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar. Just to activate your brain to do something before
I always
you
like
just
I
get
like
up.
a relaxing morning, and I try and wake up long before. I don't like being in a rush.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When you wake up at 5 in the morning and like, oh, I'm going to work at 10. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly, and
Yeah.
that's morning routine.
Yeah. 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 A few words to describe your music. Mm, yeah. Sorry.
Um,
Sentence,
I send an
maybe.
I don't know, I just sometimes I feel like every song I write is, like, so different, I wouldn't know. Um,
I
I would say, like, melodic. I'd say
Okay.
that's a big one.
That's a big one.
Say quiet for the most part.
Quite melodic.
Quiet, melodic, and a little bit sometimes it can be a bit angry, and sometimes it
Mm.
but, like
Emotional.
yeah, emotional, angry, and mellow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good ideas. To be
Yeah.
fair. Yeah. So, okay, give me like 1 second. Anna, this has been such an thoughtful experience and conversation with you. It's so good to have you. And like, the way you speak about things, you have so much emotion about it. And like,
Oh,
I
thank
really
you.
admire that. And yeah, that will connect to a lot of people listening now, like, hopefully.
I
Yeah.
hope so. Sometimes I don't feel very articulate.
Yeah. No, no, you're very articulate. Like, it's almost an hour. No, it's already an hour.
Yeah. No,
You've
it
been
doesn't feel
very
like that.
articulate.
I was
And
really
yeah,
enjoying
it's
it.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Like, of course, before we go, like, you want to tell people about your music, where to follow you, like what's coming next, like the gigs you're doing.
Yes. You can follow me at Anna_Karila on Instagram, and I have a gig tomorrow with Rob and Erica, but I don't know if this will be out by then. And you can but in my bio, there's links to all my gigs.
Okay. Yeah, which is good. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, thank you so much for like coming today. Like, I really hope I'm gonna watch you tomorrow, and it's gonna be great. And like,
Yeah, really
I
excited.
think do you feel like you spoke in your mind today? Like,
Yeah,
will that help you for tomorrow? Yeah.
definitely. It's nice to get
Okay.
your chest as well.
All right. Yeah. All right. All right. So of course, to all my listeners, thank you for listening, like watching, do all the normal stuff, like, subscribe, please help me. Yeah. See you the next time.
See you.
Yeah.
Really nice. See you tomorrow.